Namaskaram, ladies and gentlemen. This is CS Sudarshan Yadunath. Hope you are killing it in your studies. Hardly 5 days are left for your examination, accounts paper first. So what I want to tell you is that stop all the other subjects that you are studying and purely focus on accounts. Because some students do what they do is that they'll study law also 2 or 3 hours along with accounts. But I would suggest no. I'll tell you why. If your law is only like 50% completed or something, then take one whole day tomorrow and study law, finish it, and then take accounts fully. Don't complicate accounts with law, because the first paper should be well written, 120%, because it affects your confidence. In CA examination, confidence is what matters. Confidence will give you the endurance and stamina to perform more. And how to get that confidence, we have uploaded one video, but this is in accounts paper. You have to make sure you will get 70 marks, 60 to 70 marks. Then only you will get that momentum to write forward. So I would suggest, even if you're planning to spend 3 hours or 2 hours on law, leave it, spend purely on accounts, and I'll give you 5 revision techniques which you must use to secure an exemption, say 60, 70 marks in accounts. And these techniques will short increase your 5 to 10 marks. So we'll move on to that. First thing is that revisiting. I've written many things are there, so first we'll focus on this. Revisiting the questions learned. Just listen to this, because you may know 1 or 2 techniques, but there may be other 2 techniques which you don't know, but that can give you the extra marks. So focus here. Just 5 minutes to get 5 to 10 marks. Where can you get that? So revisiting the questions learned. That means when you're solving 100 questions in accounts, imagine 5 chapters, 100 questions are there. When you're solving that, around 20 to 30 questions, it may be tough for you, right? Which may require a more revision. If the same question comes in exam also, you are not that confident, right? So mark all those questions. And if you're studying 12 hours a day, just not 12, you should go with 14. So if you're studying 14 hours a day, keep aside the last 2 hours. Last 2 hours, whatever you have studied throughout the day, in the day 1, whatever you 27th, whatever you have studied on 27th, at the end of that day, revise only those tough questions. You are doing the revision, but at the end of the day, revise only those tough questions once more. And on the 28th evening also, in that 2 hours at the night, revise 27th, the tough questions from 27th and tough questions from 28th. It's actually not revising, it's revisiting. You just visit. Yeah, okay, this was a process. Just see it and go. Get those tough questions in your brain on 27, 28, 29, 30 and 1. Every single day you revise. Like on 29th, you revise the questions from 27, 28 and 29. So what happens is, all these tough questions, when you come to May 1st, second you have to write the examination, all these tough questions will be in your brain, because you are subsequently consistently revising it every single day. It is not revision, it's actually revisiting. I don't want you to solve or anything. Just revisit it and go. Just flip the pages. So like one question, 1 minute, just like that. Do it and go. What was the step? How to solve it? Yes. So that is one technique called revisiting the questions. And daily 1 or 2 hours, only the tough questions. Be moderate on this. Don't put all the other easy questions on this. Only the tough questions. Next technique is that, this is not a technique, this is something that I have to say to you. Some students do this mistake, that they'll only revise 1 time. 5 days are there, they'll revise 1 time and go. That's a foolish thing we are planning to do, bro. It's not good. It's not good. Revise it 2 times. Even if we are so good at revising, then 4 days of first revision and 1 day keep it for the second revision. Normal cases, I would suggest 3 to 3.5 days for the first revision. That is till 29th or 30th. And the first you do this, 1 more revision. So 2 revisions you need to do, just like the plan we have scheduled here. Because whatever you learned on 27th, some questions you solved on 27th. If you don't revise it before, if you don't revise it on May 1st, you may forget. Same question comes also, you may forget. So keep that in mind. Next point is starting point. This is very crucial, bro. Have you ever thought of this mistake? If you have written one examination or in practice, you would have understood this importance of this thing. Some questions you may have solved that question 2 days back, but when the same questions comes in the exam, oh, you are so happy to solve that. But when you plan to write, you plan to pen it down, then the problem is where to start. What was the first step? Where to start? This is very crucial. So for all the questions which are actually tough, or like a complicated or bigger questions, always once you finish the questions, I'll tell you how to structure the answers in your brain. In your revision, from today or tomorrow, you'll be doing the revisions, right? In your revisions, when you solve one question and finish it, even if you solve it without looking at the answer also, still once you finish solving the question, just close your eyes and what was the first step? Okay, like this is, how I solved. Just 10 seconds is what it takes, but that 10 seconds per question will give you 5 to 6 marks in exam easily, because at least one question you will miss this point in exam. So every question, once you finish, it's a big question, finish the question, think, where have I started? What was the first step? And if it's a very big question, like a partnership, amalgamation, all these kind of bigger questions, near to the side, put a sticky note and write the steps. Step 1, find this. Step 2, find this. Step 3, find this. And when you're revising it on day before exam or exam day morning, just look at those steps and go. Because this is a very crucial problem. Sometimes, even if the easiest question, but you may not know what was the first step, what was the structure to solve it, where to put the working notes. That I will make another video about presentation. That is completely different topic. Next is 1.5 day mistake register. What does this mean? Normally, I've told you to maintain a mistake register for practical papers. But in this case, when you are revising for this is your last revision, right? Last revision you are doing. Just keep a 2, 3, 4 A4 size paper on near side. You don't need even a book, just a paper. 3, 4 papers are there needed. Just staple it and keep it. All the mistakes that you are doing it in your last revision. Sometimes you may forget to take the depreciation rate, like 6 into 6 by 12 you forget to do, or some sort of mistakes in accounts, all these things. What I want you to do is that please write those mistakes in a sheet of paper. So per chapter you may be doing 10 mistakes or 10 questions which you need to do further revision. All the important points that comes to your mind, write it to a piece of paper, because in the when you may be doing the mistake on 27, 28, 29 April, but on the day of exam sometimes you may forget this. You may do the same mistake in paper also. So once your last revision is done, you have all the mistakes you are normally committing. On the day before exam, on the day of examination morning, before you enter the hall, just go through this paper. You will never commit this mistake again, right? And on the next revision, that is the day 1.5 day revision also, and the day of exam also, morning revise it. Do it from tomorrow, like today onwards when you are studying. Very crucial. All the mistakes and all the sometimes in question number 27, you forget to take the steps. So write it, whatever you want, just like a diary. Then the next is don't. Students make, some of the students, because I had a friend who made this mistake, that is, she used to solve every question by hand. That should be done in your first study, second revision, third revision. Now it's your final revision happening. So here, solve around 40 to 50% by hand. In that 40 to 50%, in that 40 to 50% also, only 20% questions in the perfect format you solve. 1 or 2 questions per chapter, bigger questions, or perfect format. Daily 5 questions, 10 questions, 5, 6 questions, you solve it on a perfect format, because you may forget the format in your exam, like where should I do the working note first, or should I put the balance sheet first? All these things will be there, right? Just like a mock, you will be solving one question, 20% question in the perfect format, and the other 30% questions you are solving should be on a rough basis, just like rough calculations done. Then the next 50% question, just recall only, because you don't have time to solve all the questions. Solve 20% questions properly, 30% question rough on calculator or like in scribble. Then the rest of the 50% easy questions, everything. Read the question, recall what was the step, how you solve it. Tuck. Don't look at the answer. Then that's all about the 5 techniques that I wanted to give you. Hope you at least find one helpful, right? If you find at least one helpful, the only thing that I want from you guys is that just give it a thumbs up. And one more thing, that is manifestation of words, because you are going to write your first paper. Just manifest in your mind what you want there. Obviously an exemption, right? 60 plus 70 plus obviously you want, right? Depending upon your preparation level. If 60% everyone wants in account, 60 or 70 or 80, whatever your target is, write it in the comment box. I will secure 60%, I will secure 60 marks, 70 marks in accounts in May 25, and put a lit emoji. What I want you to do is that once you finish, once you get your results, that day come back to this, screenshot this and send it to us, or upload it in your Instagram or something and share it with us. We'll upload it in our Instagram as well. So that is what we call manifesting your marks. Just manifest that. Just write it down, make it a pledge. 5 days, go kill it, get it done. That's it. And the next video will be purely about presentation mistakes to avoid in accounts. Because in accounts, I'll tell you, use these revision techniques. This will give you at least 5-10 marks the increase, and another 5-6-10 marks you will get from the presentation video. Lot of presentation mistakes are there. Once, if you have written your accounts once, then you take on your paper, you may know what is the level of presentation mistakes, right? Many things. I have observed many students, all the mistakes. I've compiled it down. I'll make a video tomorrow. So that's it. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing to the page, because we will upload content that's going to give you value 120% straight. So that's it. Give it a thumbs up and comment it down. Manifest your words that I will secure 60, 70 marks in accounts. That's it. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.